He who follows the crowd will go no further than the crowd. He who walks alone may find himself in places no one has ever been. Albert Einstein. We live in a world louder than ever. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone wants to be heard. But in this noise, very few actually think. We scroll endlessly. We consume headlines. We adopt beliefs without question. And somewhere along the way, we lose the ability to think for ourselves. This isn't just a modern issue. Even the ancient Stoics warned against it. Because the price of blind conformity is the death of wisdom. Imagine this. You're in a room with 10 people. 9 say the sky is green. You know it's blue. But would you speak up? Or would you nod and stay silent? Most people stay silent. Not because they agree, but because they fear standing alone. This is the herd instinct. Evolution wired us to survive by belonging. But philosophy, especially Stoic philosophy, asks us to question what we belong to. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Marcus Aurelius. The danger isn't in being wrong. It's in never knowing why you believe what you believe. Most people inherit their values. They never choose them. And in doing so, they trade their inner voice for the applause of strangers. The Stoics weren't loud. They weren't flashy. They were silent rebels. Masters of inner strength. Resistors of the crowd. Epictetus was born a slave. Yet he taught that freedom wasn't external. It was the ability to control your thoughts. To choose your response, instead of reacting blindly. And that's what true thinking is. Choice. Thinking for yourself isn't about being right. It's about being authentic. It's asking, is this belief mine? Or did I borrow it just to fit in? In a culture that values speed and reaction, pausing to reflect is an act of quiet rebellion. Thinking deeply is uncomfortable. It means facing contradictions in your own mind. It means admitting you were wrong. That you've changed. That the old you was just following the script. Not everyone is ready for that kind of honesty. So they fill the silence with noise. Distraction becomes a drug. And stillness becomes a threat. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. Nietzsche. The greatest thinkers in history were often lonely. Not because they were unlovable, but because they saw things others refused to see. They refused to follow the shallow current of popular thought. And so, they became lighthouses. Alone, but unshaken. Silent, but guiding. Thinking for yourself doesn't mean rejecting everything. It means testing everything. Ask yourself, where did this idea come from? Does it align with what I truly value? Would I still believe this if no one else did? This is philosophical courage. Not to follow blindly, but to examine deeply. Read widely, but question everything. Listen to others, but make your own conclusions. Even question me. This video, these words. Because no voice, not even a wise one, should replace your own. There is immense strength in being alone with your thoughts. To disconnect. To journal. To meditate. It's in those moments, in the silence, that the fog clears, and your real voice emerges. Marcus Aurelius didn't write meditations for the world. He wrote it for himself. Private thoughts. Honest reflections. Never intended for fame. Yet today, they guide millions. Because truth doesn't shout. It whispers. And only those brave enough to be still will hear it. In a world full of noise, You don't need to shout louder. You need to listen deeper. Think for yourself. Not because it's easy, but because it's the only way to truly live. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. Goethe. If this made you pause, even for a second, don't let the insight fade. Write it down. Reflect on it. And share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like. Comment your thoughts. And subscribe for more philosophy that makes you think, not just react. Until next time. Stay curious. Stay grounded. And never stop thinking for yourself.